What's up, guys? All right, so we are here. We're gonna do some 5/16 lateral lines. We got a ton of them to do, uh, but it's still half the woods, which is all we're gonna do this year. I let the snow melt. We had some good warmer days. It'll be a lot easier because I tried doing some a couple weeks ago, and there was like 3 feet of snow on the ground. And very slow going and very tiring. Just wanted to show you guys what we're using. We're using all CDL products for our main lines and our lateral lines and fittings and stuff. So this is CDL lead connector I'm using. And a CDL end hook. You can see that. That's all we need today. So when I go around a tree and I put the end hook on back to itself, connecting it to itself, I am gonna put a T, which means like going down, then downstream that's gonna be open, but upstream of the T will be closed. So like if there's a squirrel chewer or something on the backside of a tree, it won't bother us anymore, which will cut down on a lot of leaks. So that'll help out, especially when you're just a one-man band. We are using these aluminum two-hand tool. These are my first year using them. Normally I have the old steel ones, they're kind of heavier. I am using CDL apron, I call it. It's a little, I'm a big guy, so it fits most, it's supposed to say, but don't fit me very good. But does a job. Yeah, let's get to work. Right in the water. All right. So we are gonna take our end of line hook, and we will attach it to this. Just like that. I'll leave this here. I gotta make a hook for this, so probably put it right here so I can hook it on the main line, so I don't have to keep dropping it. But we are only gonna be putting 3 to 5 taps per lateral. 5E and max, obviously. Try to get more production out of these trees. I got a lot of money invested in it, and yeah. So another thing is I want to have everything facing east. Like, so south is that way, east is that way, west is towards you, and north is up that way. And that's very important. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have these all facing most east and south as possible. So eventually I'm gonna start running lines running southwest, like southwest that way. But this one I can't do, and there's actually gonna be 4 on this lateral. Yeah, 4. So I'll show you what we're doing. So we're gonna come around this tree, that tree, and this tree. Like I said earlier, everything's gonna be facing due east and southeast. You want to set this about waist high. So we got plenty of pitch. Ooh, I don't like that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a, you can see where that line is not hitting. Let's go right here. Go back to this here. All right, so we're going to cut that right there. My shears need to be lubed up. I just sharpened them too, and it already seemed to be dull. I am getting a cold. Put that in there. Hoping you guys can see this. I'm gonna turn that around so I get you guys closer, I think. Hey. All right. So we're gonna put our lead connector in here. So you want this hook facing towards the end of the main. So you want it facing like that. Put it in here. Like so, and you just squeeze. Easy peasy. So then, you gotta get the main up higher, kind of like a rope, and you wanna stretch it and put it on. So this is gonna go, back onto here with a spin seal. That'll be another day. But for this, show you. So as you can tell, hold on. So as you can tell right here, there's a big gap. I'm gonna have to pull this over with a piece with two end connectors on here. Because I didn't want to go behind the tree, because then the sun will be blocking this, and this would freeze in here and not let everything go down. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We'll get a nice little piece. I'll cut a nice little piece off that. It's more end connectors, but they're only a couple, I don't know, 15 cents in bulk maybe, something like that. What we're gonna do, so we're gonna put one end connector on this. I know I'm using more end connectors, but like I said, they're only like 17 cents or something, 20 cents in bulk. And I have way more than enough for this year. And I'm not doing this every time, you know, so now I gotta adjust this. I don't really want it on the tree per se, against it, but I want it close. That's gonna go there. I'll put that away. End connector, end hook. So on some heart medications, then I have to wear thick gloves because my circulation is not the best. Because I have ventricular tachycardia, which is like a racing of the heart. And we don't know how I got it. Well, we know why, like what happened, but I should say. Ow. So I got scarring on my heart from something, and so it's messing up my signals in my heart, and it's making my heart race. And I have medication to help me regulate my heart rate a little bit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But here we got the dual end, just goes around the tree. There's obviously no vacuum on this, so if it chews, it chews. If don't, don't. Not a big deal. But we've just pulled that closer. And if you think about it, black heats up faster, so even if I do get ice in here, it's going to heat up faster than the rest of it. So yeah, voila, a little bit more work, hopefully a lot more production out of it. So let's see. So when I'm looking at trees, I don't really want to zigzag. I kind of want like straight as much as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab that one. So that'll be only 2 taps, this lateral. Like I said earlier, I want production, so I rather spend a little bit more money now and get better yield down the road. Well, starting this year, but continuing down the road. So yeah, like I said, 3 to 5. It'll be less. Some of these I have 1, like that tree right there. See that tree right there? It only is going to have 1 tap. So yeah. People will say, oh, it's too much money to do it that way. Yeah, it is now, but further down the road, it's going to continue my production. All right, so let's get this straight. Gotta put our end hook, CDL end hook. And another thing is I only want to be 75 feet max distance between main line and the end of lateral line. I just want to be, oh no, I gotta go the other way. Yeah, I just want to be the closest to that. Like I said, further you go the line, less vacuum. But they say 5/16 or 3/16 is better, and hundreds of feet and like 20 line per lateral. But I want the CFMs to get to the trees too. So yeah, kind of like when I do this, I kind of I look for my next move on the other side. That's why I was taking a look back there. So this 5/16 line is obviously CDL 5/16 Vision Blue and semi-rigid. I used to go to rigid. I use a lot of Lateral, and I love their 5/16 too. But like I said, I kind of want everything to be, the fittings to be CDL to CDL. The only thing I'm really changing up that's not CDL is going to be my stubbies. I'm going to stubbies, and I am going to the check valve because I don't trust myself with all the leaks. I mean, I do work 6 days a week. If I'm not working overtime, I'm working 7 days. If I am working overtime, I'm working 7 days a week. So I'm busy. And I got this on the other hand. If I had more vacation and sick time, I'd be using it to put this up with a low snow, but I won't. Alright, we're going to have to do this. I'm going to go back there. So you want this tight, but you don't want it too tight. I go tighter than normal, but like today it's 28 degrees, so it'll expand when it's warmer, and you don't want the droops, you know, the main line that droops. You want it as tight as you can get it, but without stretching the line and making it thinner. When I put my drop lines on, I am going to tighten it up even more. So it won't droop, because after a while, you know, it does stretch. And I liked about the Lateral rigid tubing is it never like really let me down until, I don't know, like 7 years. The fittings, it could be the fittings, and my fault. Fittings are different probably because they're D&G, but the fittings are pulling out of the 5/16 lines, which that was no good. That's why I went to semi-rigid. Plus, in this woods, you know, there's a lot of trees, so there's more to hang off of, where the older tree or the other sugar bush, it was wider, it was mostly wide open with big trees, so you didn't want that dip. You wanted more of a rigid line, but the density in this woods obviously is a lot higher, so there's more trees I can connect to and lean on, I guess I'd call it, with the 5/16 to hold it up. You know, that's why we went to semi-rigid, so I don't have to worry about that. I call it lacticity, where it like stretches and comes back when you put your fitting in. Eventually, the rigid won't have that much. It'll start getting harder. But I'm not shooting down Lateral tubing. I love Lateral tubing, but there's not too many dealers around here anymore. So, and I tried to, like earlier in my other previous videos, I tried to split the money up throughout all the equipment dealers and suppliers around here. So I know a certain amount what I was going to spend, so I just kind of divvied it up. You know, like I bought the line all from CDL, and that was a pretty good price, a high price, you know. So they're all within like $2,000 of each other, each supplier. So I did pretty well on that. I was pretty happy, because you don't want to like buy from just one supplier, then another supplier hearing about it, and that, you know, it's kind of a dick move, I think, where you just go to one supplier and you don't spread the money out to other people. Because when you need help, they're more likely going to help you. And the more friends you have in the maple industry with suppliers, say you had an RO go down and it's, you know, 12 o'clock at night, you know, I could call any dealer and get a pump, you know, or the dealer that I bought it from. Now, I did buy a different RO from a smaller guy because I liked the way it was built, but we'll get to that in a different video. So yeah, or like a vacuum pump. If you have something go around with a vacuum pump, I'm going to tell you right now, I bought it from Nick Wendell's. You know, if I ever have an issue, I call him. I can almost guarantee he's going to pick up that phone and say, hey, what's wrong? And he's going to help me out. And that does divvy, you know. Maple, you're only in 3 months out of the whole year, you know. It needs to be running. If it's running, your vacuum has to be running. Everything has to be up and going to make any kind of profit out of this. So the more time you are down, the less money you make. And it's not like you can gain it back later in the year, because if you do have an issue and it's running, you're going to have bacteria going back up to your tap holes. You're going to lose production. So it's like, the faster you can do this, the more profit you're going to make, and the more friends you have in the maple industry, the better it is. So yeah, there's that. So let's go over here. So this one's going to be a weird one. So I got all these maples here. Obviously they're too small. That one's too small. That one's tappable. This one's too small right here, obviously. And that one too small. And it should have been cut out because it's bad. One of these days when I have some time, I'm going to cut stuff out. But so obviously I want to say southeast as much as I can. So I'm coming on this side around to that one, and I'm probably going to connect to that one over there. So it's going to be facing south, and this will be facing east. So I'm probably going to have to move this. So yeah. So I don't know if the camera can see me, but this is a tappable size, 10-inch. So that's going to be three taps in this. So when I loop this around, I'm starting from the south. So the line's going on the south and it's looping around. So like I said, that end plug T will do its job. Everything will be facing south, southeast. So that sun in the morning, get on there. I'm gonna cut it right there. Missing the Bills playoff game today. Personally, I think they're gonna lose. I'm a Bills fan, but too many injuries and not enough good wide receivers on that. I was hoping my brother would help me out today. My older brother. He said he would, but I don't know where he is. You know how many times I put these end connectors, or the lead connectors on the wrong way, then you have to cut them out and put them down in the right way? When I first started out, that was horrible. My gloves are too big. Alright, that's good. This is going to go there, and that's going to go right there. And I don't like cut these all at the same. I just, whatever, it don't matter. As long as it's enough to get a nice little loop in there. Alright, so guys, that is it. I'm not going to bore you with the rest. I thought I gave you the rundown on that. But I just want to thank you for watching. Hopefully this helps out a little bit. The high production side of it, I mean, it's pretty simple. I just want to thank everybody for watching. And I I hope you guys have a good maple season. Hopefully this will help out. And thanks for watching. Continue mapling, even if it hurts you. And never give up.